Alright, so today what I'm going to do is show you how I get rust off of Dutch ovens. This here I accidentally left outside in the rain for a number of months, and I should have brought it in, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do first is spray on some olive oil Pam spray. The only reason I'm doing this is so that I know I can get the whole thing covered in Pam oil. And then next, I'm going to use some pure oil, some pure olive oil, and just spread this around just a little bit. All right, so I got that covered. Next, I'm going to pour on some coarse salt. So, I'll get this open, spread this around. And what this does, it allows me to then use my Milwaukee 18-volt drill and the scrub brush on the top here. And what this does, this will allow me to scrub the top of the lid with the coarse salt. Get every square inch of it. I don't want to do it too hard because then the salt will just fly everywhere. And the oil just kind of makes a lubricant for the top of the lid for the salt to move around. Oops. And once I have it, I know that it's moved around a lot. I'll maybe kind of speed it up a little bit. All right. So now that that is all kind of rubbed down, I'll take some paper toweling and see if I can remove some of the rust from the top of it. Get it all wiped off. Get it wiped off the best I can. See how much of the rust I can get off with just paper towels. Get a lot of that dirty salt off of there. And then once I have that off, what I'll do is I'll go back with more olive oil. And I'll put some more salt on. So this time I have another scrubber. I have this scrubber. I kind of modified it. It came with a steel wool one built on, and then I just wrapped a copper steel wool or copper wool around it. That seemed to do pretty good, and then I'll just go back on with this one again. And then I'll go back with this one again. Kind of push the salt around. Then I'll wipe more of the rust off. I may have to make a second video because I'm going to wash this off and get more paper toweling, get more salt off, and that loosened up a lot of the salt and a lot of the rust. And then what I'll do is I'll wash more of it off with water and wash more of it off with paper toweling. And that's all I'm doing is just using salt and olive oil to loosen up the rust. And once we got all the rust off, then we can season this in an oven. So this is a good way to get a lot of the rust off. With salt, coarse salt, and olive oil, with a Milwaukee drill and two scrub brushes. One's a copper with steel wool underneath. I just use the copper so that the steel wool one that came with that grinder will last a little bit longer. I can always take the copper one off and put a different copper one on. But this technique got a lot of the rust off. I'll probably keep repeating the process until it gets more and more off. And I'll just season it. With some Crisco. I've got Crisco here that I'll eventually rub on there when I do the seasoning in the oven. And that is how I get a lot of the rust off of cast iron.